Perhaps the last thing you might think to use to determine the second coming of Jesus Christ is the Jewish calendar. But that is just what some people are doing. They're using the calendaring system of an ethnic religion that doesn't believe in Jesus to determine when he will return. One reason we can do this is because both Christianity and Judaism have a shared history for 4,000 of the last 6,000 years, up until the mortal ministry of Jesus Christ. Many people, both Jews and Christians, believe in a 6,000-year period between the fall of Adam and the second coming. Why? The Bible presents a pattern of 6 days of work and a 7th day of rest. For Jews, Talmudic sources like Sanhedrin 97a describe history as 6 millennia of human activity, followed by the Messianic Sabbath, a 7th millennium of peace. For Christians, some New Testament verses hint at this pattern. 2 Peter 3:8, for example, says, "With the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years." Revelation 20 verses 4 through 6 says, "The millennium is a literal 1,000-year reign, following a period of judgment." So the 6,000-year framework isn't arbitrary at all. It's deeply biblical and symbolic. So both Jews and Christians believe that history will be represented by 6 1,000-year periods, each mapped to a day of the week, just like the creation narrative, followed by a day of rest or a 1,000-year period known as the millennium. In fact, an oversimplification might see that both religions believe very similar things. The Jews believe their Messiah will come, when Christians believe he has already come and will come again. And when he does, it fills the prophecy the Jews have about their coming Messiah. Unlike our modern Gregorian calendar, which is based purely on solar cycles, the Jewish calendar is lunisolar and was carefully constructed to track biblical history from creation. This calendar counts the years Anno Mundi, AM, meaning Year of the World. Today, according to the official Jewish calendar, we're in year 5785 AM, which began at Rosh Hashanah in October 2024 and will end in September 2025. But why does this matter for prophecy? Well, Jewish tradition, including rabbinic teachings and the Talmud, as we have said, divides history into 6,000 years from the fall to the Messianic age, and the 7th millennium as a Sabbath of rest, or the millennium. If we take this framework seriously, the Jewish calendar gives us a biblically grounded measure of time that can help us estimate prophetic events like the second coming, far more directly than our secular Gregorian calendar can. But the official Jewish calendar isn't perfect. The main discrepancy comes from what scholars call the Persian gap. The Seder Olam Rabbah, a 2nd century rabbinic chronology, compresses the Persian period from Cyrus the Great to Alexander the Great down to only 52 years, while secular historical records, Greek sources, Babylonian chronicles, and even astronomical data shows it was closer to 207 years. The Jewish rabbi may have done this to better map to certain biblical prophecies, such as the one found in Daniel, to the temples in Jerusalem. Other small gaps occur in early genealogies and the post-exilic period. Combined, these differences mean the official Jewish calendar is about 160 to 200 years shorter than it would have been if we reconstructed history using all available evidence. So what happens if we correct the Jewish calendar using the historical record? Well, first we need to align Persian king reigns with Babylonian and Greek records. Then we will use archaeological evidence like the Cyrus cylinder and temple construction layers. Then we can also synchronize astronomical records, including eclipses mentioned in Babylonian chronicles. And we can also carefully re-examine biblical genealogies, counting potential gaps or overlaps. The result? Today, instead of 5785 AM, we would be closer to 5940 to 5985 AM, a number that reflects the actual historical passage of time from the fall of Adam, according to both the Bible and external sources. This is important. This corrected number gives us a better starting point for calculating prophetic timelines, including Daniel's 70 weeks of prophecy and the final 7-year tribulation period. With the corrected number, you can see that we are just 15 to 60 years away from the 6,000-year mark using the most accurate calendaring possible. If we assume today is 5940 to 5985 AM on the corrected Jewish calendar, then the final 7-year period, the 70 weeks from Daniel's prophecy, could begin roughly 8 to 53 years from now, which corresponds to 2033 to 2073. The end of the 70th week, or the second coming of Jesus, would then fall around 2040 to 2085 AD, ushering in the millennium. So in summary, the Jewish calendar gives us a biblically grounded way to track prophetic history, more precisely than our own secular Gregorian calendar for predicting events like the Second Coming. However, the official Jewish calendar is short by 160 to 200 years, mainly because of the compressed Persian dates and gaps in early genealogies. Correcting these for the gaps with secular histories, archaeological evidence, and astronomy puts us at 5940 to 5985 AM today. The 6,000-year framework is deeply biblical, showing the fall to millennium pattern, and reinforces why this corrected Jewish timeline is significant for eschatology. History, prophecy, and astronomy converge here, giving us a window, not an exact date, but a deeply meaningful timeline which may explain why so many people feel the second coming is so close. So while no one can pinpoint the exact day or hour, understanding the corrected Jewish calendar and the 6,000-year framework believed by both Jews and Christians alike might give a remarkable lens for biblical prophecy fulfillment. Thanks for watching. Hey, before you go, I'd like to invite you to be part of Momentum 2026, a cruise with Go and Do Travel. I'll be there with many friends, including Bruce Porter, and many other well-known LDS speakers and entertainers. These cruises offer opportunities to connect with like-minded individuals and learn from some of the most amazing people out there. If you're interested, use promo code PRINCE to get $100 off.